What's up and welcome guys to One Oak Mentoring, the #1 mentoring, virtual mentoring service and programs that this universe has ever conceived, of all times ever, right? How y'all doing today, man? I'm doing good once again, man. Beautiful day. Today I'm gonna be doing a very informative video, but I'm gonna be breaking this down into 3 sets. Today is I'm gonna be talking to y'all guys about how to make friends, right? Okay. In a perfect world, we'll just come up to a group of people and say, "Who want to be my friend?" And everybody say, "Oh, me," right? But unfortunately, guys, this isn't a perfect world, right? So a lot of y'all have trouble, trying to make friends and things like that. Trying to get in little cliques and things like that, man. So I'm gonna give y'all guys some pointers on how to make friends. Now, the first I'm gonna break this down for the younger crowd, like I guess elementary school students and younger, things like that. Uh, when you growing up, most of the time, your first friends or your first set of friends gonna be like your cousins or something like that, right? So it's gonna be like your cousins or your mama and her friend are gonna like try to force y'all to be friends, right? Like trying to push y'all together. Oh, he's six, he's six. Put them together. They should be best friends, right? And so, there's nothing wrong with that, because you start getting, accustomed to friends, accustomed to being around people. When you young, man, the only criteria you really have for a friend is just like being my age, What else, You four, I'm four, Let's be friends. Let's go out here and kick some dirt around, right? Or play around in some mud or something, or whatever they do, okay? I remember being real young, like I had a friend named Jermaine, right? Still my friend to this good day. I met him, well, I knew about him, we rode the same bus, and we went to school, right? So I knew about him as far as, we rode the same bus and stuff, but I was never really friends with him until like the 3rd grade, right? So one thing I want y'all guys to know is like the main thing that's gonna come down to who your friends are is having things in common and like groups or like proximity, or I'll break that down, right? So what I mean by having something in common, like like if you like basketball and they like basketball, okay, yeah, we can kind of build a friendship on that. If you like butterflies and I like butterflies, okay, all right, we'll go get together and go catch some butterflies or something like that, right? Okay, but so going back to my friend Jermaine was like, okay, like we rode the same bus, right? So, that's like a group or you're like a social, thing. So we rode the same bus, went to the same school, right? Now, things that we would have in common would, 1st and 2nd grade, I would see him and I just always remember like he always had on like some real like cool clothes and real cool shoes, like something that we had in common, right? Well, I didn't have cool clothes and cool shoes at that point in time, but I wanted it, right? So I looked at like, okay, all right, me and him could be friends, right? So so our 3rd grade year we became friends. Why? Because we were in the same class together, right? So that's another group, right? So I'm not sure if I'm saying the right word, but like riding the same bus, going to the same school, being in the same class, those are kind of be, who your friends are and things like that, right? But, so we got in the same class together and then we kind of like to joke around and cut up too, man. So, another thing that we got in common, right? I remember, man, when I was really young, man, about the 2nd grade, there used to be these 2 guys in my class, right? Now, when I was real young, I went to an all-black kindergarten, right? No, it wasn't segregated. I'm not that old, but I went to like an all-black kindergarten. And then when I started going to 1st grade, grade school, I was around, this was like more like a rural area or whatever, right? So it was like more like country, white people and stuff like that, nothing against them. But I went from being from like around all black people and then to like the where I was with majority of white people, right? But I mean, it really wasn't a problem. I still adapted well. But in 2nd grade, I remember, just like I said, if you're in a class, the same class, you kind of tend to want to, be friends with them. So I'll never forget, man, there used to be these 2 kids, man, these 2 white kids, right? And every time we had recess, I would come up to him and say, hey man, can I play with y'all today? Can I play Power Rangers with y'all today? You know, you know, I usually was the red or the black one, you know. I don't think they like me being the red one, you know, because, you know, I don't know. But most of the time they'll be like, yeah, man, you know, come and play with us. That's cool or whatever. But every now and then they'll be like, you know, no, we're gonna play by ourselves today. You know, we're not playing with you today. We want you to, like, we want to play by ourselves today, right? So I would be like, okay, you know, all right, maybe tomorrow or something like that. Then when I got in high school and I remember those guys, you know, man, I don't have anything against nerds or like lame people, but like I wouldn't even look their way, you know, in high school and stuff. Those people were like, those two guys were kind of like, you know, what I would consider or which I would consider like lame, you know, nerds. Nothing against the nerds, you know, y'all do y'all thing too. But I just think back like, man, I used to actually ask these guys to play Power Rangers with them, right? Why was I trying to be friends with them? Because we was in the same class, right? So that's another thing I want to tell you guys, like, don't force like a friendship or something like that. If somebody want to be your friend, it's going to happen organically, right? Now that might be a big word for some of y'all guys, so let's break it down a little bit more. Let's break it down and simplify it, right? Organically means like naturally, right? So, you know, you don't have to force it. Hey, can I play with y'all today? And, you know, they put you on the schedule, you know, we're going to play with you on Tuesdays and Fridays, you know, the other days, you know, I want to be the red Power Ranger. That's really why he didn't want to. One of them wanted to be the red Power Ranger. That's really why I think they was hating on me, and they really didn't want me to, you know. But anyway, y'all guys don't be desperate for friends or nothing like that, right? So y'all just keep that in mind. So now how to make friends, like if you're in like middle school to high school or something like that, right? What I want you guys to know is that even though you become friends when you're young, like just like I say, if your parents put y'all together and kind of make y'all be friends, you know, you kind of like, oh, well, this is the only person around my age, but so I guess we'll just be best friends to the end, right? It doesn't always work like that, okay? Sometimes you start growing up, meeting new people, you know, just like I said with the guys I used to try to play Power Rangers with. Like, I thought those guys was cool, you know, but then I started growing up, I was like, guys ain't cool at all, man. I'm way cooler than them, right? So just keep that in mind. There's nothing wrong with like growing apart from your friends. You know, just always, you know, don't be fake. You know, don't just try to cut this friend off just because you want to go hang with this group of friends, you know. So don't do anything fake like that, right? But when you're in like middle school and high school, it's a little bit different. You know, you start wanting to pick your friends off of other things, you know, but still groups and being in common, right? So you know, you might just want to hang with the football players, right? You know, if you're a football player, you might tend to hang around football players. Y'all always around each other practicing, right? So you're gonna have more of a tendency to be friends with a football player. People that like shoes and stuff, that like to go and shop, you know, you have more of a tendency to like be in that group. Like, you know what I mean? Like people that party all the time, you know, you might just, you know, it's like certain things, you know, well, goes back to like having things in common, but you know, you're kind of more picky about your friends when you start getting older, right? Because they're a reflection of you. Now, you don't want to be hanging around some cornball and then they're like, oh man, you friends with him? You must be a cornball too, right? So, I mean, well, I'm not saying that's right, but you know, that's kind of how the mind of like, you know, middle schoolers and high schoolers, when I was in high school, a friend I still got to this day, his name is DC. Right now, we knew each other all through high school, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, but we really didn't become friends until the 12th grade. Now, why is that, right? Okay, we went to the same school, right? You know, we had little, you know, we knew like some of the same people, were cool with some of the same people, right? But we never really got cool until the 12th grade, right? And why is that? Well, because we started having classes together, right? And another thing that kind of brought us together, like, you know, at our high school, it's kind of like two cities or whatever. It's like Belton, Honey Path. So it's like BHP, Belton, Honey Path High School, right? So you had Honey Path people and you had your Belton people, right? Now, DC was from Honey Path, right? Now, he always had a reputation of being funny, you know, roasting people, joning and stuff like that. And me, myself, I'm from Belton. So I was a dude from Belton that was known for joning, roasting, or whatever. Old heads call it joning, but, you know, I guess y'all new people call it roasting or the dozens or whatever y'all call it, depending on what you know, part of town you from. It's all the same thing, right? And so I remember like just like throughout our high school years, you know, sometimes people would try to instigate or try to hype us up to, you know, kind of joan at each other and this and that, you know, but we never really got around to it. But come to find out, when we got in 12th grade, you know, we became friends because we had that class together, which was, you know, what I would call like a group. You know, we got a class together, so I got to know him more, he got to know me, and me and him just like got tight like real quick. You know, like me and him had been knowing each other like for years, right? And come to find out, our grandmothers actually was friends and stuff like that, man. See how the universe worked, right? But yeah, man, so you know, things like, but when you making friends, you know, just like I said, you know, you want to make sure it's organic, you know. So it took time for me and DC to become friends, you know. It took time for me and Jermaine to become friends. We didn't become friends like at once, you know. We always rode the same bus. Me and DC, we always you know, went to the same school and stuff, but you know, until we got able to really talk to each other, you know, and we really was like, oh, okay, all right, we cool. So make sure, you know, your friends, you know, you got stuff in common with them, okay? All right. Another thing, you want to try to get out and do different things, like, you know, sometimes your friends will come, like, you know, just like say if you're younger, you play like a pee-wee football league, you know, sometimes you'll have friends from there, and sometimes you'll carry your friends all throughout your life just based on just being friends as a youngster and coming up. But just like I say, sometimes you grow apart from certain people, right? And that's okay. They don't make you a bad person. They don't make them lame. They don't make them, you know, anything like that, right? So y'all guys just keep that in mind, man. You know, friends are good to have, but just don't force it. You know, you got to have something in common, something to talk about and things like that. So now for all y'all, you know, guys in your late teens, 18, 19, 20, maybe 21 or something like that. Now me, like, I'm way grown now. Like, I'm not old. You better not call me old, but you know, I'm really not trying to make any new friends. You know, the friends I have, you know, are great. You know, if I meet new friends or become a friend with somebody, you know, that's cool too, right? But I'm not actually actively going out trying to make friends with people, right? But if you're in your late teens or your young 20s, you know, or you move to a new place, or you just don't have any friends, man, or your friends did something crazy to you and you let them go, you know, just like I said, let's go back to the group, right? So now you getting up in age, so now you're going to be grouped by things like work, right? When you start growing up to that age, work is going to be kind of like your group, but you still want to have things in common with somebody, right? So most of your friends are going to come at your job, or, you know, if you like in church or like a gym or something like that, you go to the gym, like anywhere social where you know, see a lot of people at, you know. Now, you really don't want to just approach somebody like, hey, do you want to be my friend? Especially like when you're, you know, like grown, like, you know what I mean? Like maybe, you know, if you overhear a conversation, you know, you might can, you know, put your 2 cents in. And if they're talking about a topic, you know, that you might have some expertise in, you know, that's fine, man. You can go up, you know, and start talking about that. Now don't butt in nobody conversation, man. Hey, y'all see the game last night, man? Boy, LeBron, boy, he really did that. Now, certain people might be, you know, receptive to that, you know, somebody butting in, but, you know, most people just gonna look at you like, man, who's this goofball talking to me, man? You know, but most of the time they'll just, you know, kind of light talk you, then just be thinking in the back of their head, man, this dude lame, man, coming over here talking like that, you know. So just, you want to be smooth about it. The thing about making friends is don't force it, just let it happen. Put yourself in the position to be somebody's friend, right? Don't force it, right? But you know, back to being grown, you know, when I said about your job, you know, when you got a job, you know, that's one of your groups that you can get with. And you know, it's kind of like your social setting, you know, where you might, you know, find your friends and stuff like that. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Me and my homeboy Dave, man, me and him still homeboys to this day. When I first started in the group home, I still remember this. Like, it was a group home back home, and I still remember this to this day. Like, I've seen him now, you know, I'm grown, I'm thinking I'm somebody, he probably thinking he's somebody. So I remember, man, we walked past each other, right? And in my mind, before I even got to him, I'm like, man, who this dude think he is, man? I'm not finna dap this dude up and talk to him, you know. this ego, this having male ego, right? Y'all know how that is, right? So we both just walked past each other and didn't acknowledge each other at all, right? So like literally maybe like a minute and a half, right? He came back through that door and I was just so happened to be going back that way as well. And so I seen him, man, and we greeted each other. Hey man, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 this, you know. So I think, okay, man, dude, he kind of cool, you know, this and that. Now I'm not saying we was friends at first, but then one day we worked together and then we realized you know, we knew some of the people that went to his same college, you know. I knew him really good and he knew him really good. And so we got to talking and stuff. See, having something in common, right? Letting it happen organically. Now, when I first met Dave, I didn't say, hey man, let's go out tonight, man. Let's go party, man. Hey, let's go buy some shoes, man. Let's go buy some matching shoes and, you know, buy a matching shirt and we walking around like we best friends and stuff. No. It wasn't like that, man. It was more organic, right? So that's how you make friends. You want to make your friends organically, right? All right. So I want y'all guys to keep that in mind. I hope y'all guys can make some friends. I hope this was helpful to you guys. Just remember, don't be desperate and don't compromise your integrity to be somebody's friends. Now, if you got friends and just say they just start doing a lot of smoking or drinking, man, don't feel like you gotta smoke or drink just to fit in with them. You know, you can still be their friends, but be yourself, man. Hey man, I'm not smoking, man. I'm not drinking, man. I don't want to drink that King Cobra you got. You know what I'm saying, man? Heard them things make you sick, right? But anyway, man, that's how you make friends. You know, just take it easy, organically, right? This sun getting kind of bright, man. It's been a great day. Hope y'all guys having a great day. This is the One Up. I am out.